Good evening, race fans, and welcome to Friday night. It's the Relentless Racing Series coming at you. Green flag is out.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof
And good evening, race fans. Welcome, one and all, to Las Vegas. It's race number 3 of the season for the Relentless Racing Series, right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. My name is Chris, and with me, as always, is Rick. Rick, how you doing, bud?
I'm doing fabulous, brother. Happy Friday, man. We're in Las Vegas. It's warm, and I'm loving it.
It is warm. Well, you know what, Rick? It's not really that warm. Air temperature 68 degrees. Track temperature just shy of 100 at 99. But I'll tell you what, these guys are about to hit the track, and things will certainly warm up as they do every single week.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Chris. I've been watching a lot of practice here. Ryan Flanagan right now on the top of the leaderboard for a fast time in practice of a 29.758. So the speeds here are good, man. I mean, the track's looking good. The stands are getting filled with people, man. I'm ready.
Yes, I am too, Rick. And let's go ahead and take a peek at the point standings right now. We got Matt Gruenberg by virtue of last week's dominance. He's up top in first place. Ruben Zepeda right behind him with 79 points. Austin Derbyshire just one behind there and third spot. Then you got Jeffrey Fisher, James Miller, Jake McDonald, Jeffrey Cox, Derek Garrison. Cox and Garrison tied for 7th. 9th spot belongs to Sam Garcia. Eric Lida in 10th. Adrian Pedra in 11th. You've got Jeff Price, Troy Leonard, and Scott Mertz, followed by Tony Edmondson. He's rounding out the top 15. Andrew Beach, Ryan Flanagan, Joshua Kane, Nate Stewart, and Tom Wagner are rounding out that top 20. Now, only 3 races in, so the points aren't really all that separated, but I'll tell you, it's starting to happen kind of already. If you look the difference between first place and 20th, Rick, it's 53 points as a differential.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, like you said, still a long season left to go, but man, consistency matters on these long seasons, Chris. And you know, last week, like you said, Matt Gruenberg dominated stage 1, 2, and the race win there. He had a fabulous race there at Atlanta. And now we're in Las Vegas, a little different track here, so it's going to be interesting to see how this pans out tonight. But those points, every point matters, man. Every single win, every single stage win, everything, leading laps. So these guys got some work to do. I mean, like you said, 53 points behind right now. You know, that's huge. So it's going to be interesting to see how it all pans out.
Yeah, kind of a bit of a lighter driver count tonight than this Friday night, but it looks like we might have about 14, 15 drivers getting ready to roll here. And it's all going to be starting in about 5 minutes and 30 seconds. Rick, you and I, we're going to step away and let these guys finish up practice. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be right back here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, getting ready to rock and roll with the Relentless Racing crew. We'll be right back. Good evening, race fans, and welcome to Friday night. It's the Relentless Racing Series coming at you. Green flag is out. And we are back, getting ready to go here on the Relentless Racing Series on Turn 3 Racing Network. Want to thank everybody for coming on by and checking it out. Going to be some good action tonight. It's the Xfinity cars, and a lot of these drivers are using that new model Xfinity car. But Rick, we haven't talked about the track all that much, so let's go over it just a little bit. You know, Las Vegas, a 1.5 mile track tonight. We're slated to do, what, 120 laps? And we are going to have stage racing going on, so a lot of things to think about here. About 35 laps on a fuel run / tire run. The track temperature the way it is right now, I'm pretty sure you're going to want tires at every chance you get.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, Chris, you know, that air temperature is sitting at 68 degrees. Now, that is pretty comfortable there, and it's going to help the drivers there, so they're not going to get too warm there in the cars. But that track temperature is sitting at 98. You got to see it right, man. Every chance that I possibly get, any caution that comes out, I'm going to be going down pit road, and I'm going to be grabbing tires, getting a fresh tank of fuel, and getting back out there. I mean, it's going to be tough, and I mean, this is just in practice, so we'll see what happens when we switch over to qualifying in the race itself. But right now, 98 degrees. That wind's moving all over the place. Right now, it's blowing out of the west about 10 miles per hour. Now it's southwest, so it's clear skies. This track's going to heat up, I think.
Yeah, I think you might be right. It might warm up. Sun is out. It's shining. It's blinding off from the hood of that 54 car. Ladies and gentlemen, again, I want to thank everybody for coming on out to the Turn 3 Racing Network. We really do appreciate all of the support that all of our fans give by watching these drivers week in and week out. And I know some of you come just because of the drivers, so we appreciate that too, and I'm sure they do as well. So a hearty thank you. It's Friday night. No better way to start your, or excuse me, well, yeah, we're going to start up something. We're going to start up the weekend right now, and we're doing it with the Relentless Racing Series as practice session is coming to an end in about 5 seconds, getting ready to go qualifying. So, countdown has begun on the qualifying timer. They give 10 minutes to get around this 1.5 mile track 2 times, plus a warm-up lap. And nobody, actually, there is somebody taking the track.
Yeah, Jeffrey Bush in the 06 starting to get that machine out there and running, Chris. That Toyota Supra looking pretty good. That track temperature did drop down a couple of degrees, but then it moved back up 97, so it dropped 1 degree. Practice, so we'll see how it goes out here. We'll see how Fisher, I know Fish Guts is out there. I'm sure Haley's out there.
Jeff Fisher trying to get that 06 machine up to speed. We got a couple other drivers getting out on track, including Miguel Zepeda and Ryan Flanagan. Flanagan, the fastest of the drivers among the practice session. We'll see if he's able to maintain that around the 1.5 mile track during qualifying. Well, across the start finish line, Jeffrey Fisher goes, puts down a 29.971. We'll switch on over to the 41. That's Miguel Zepeda, driver of that number 41 Ford Mustang GT. Rick, I don't know if you know this, but the Ford Mustang GT happens to be the official pace car of the Relentless Racing Series here for the 2019 fall season.
I do know that, Chris, and I'm pretty excited about that. I'm also excited about that lap that the 41 just put down at 29.916, but the 19. That's Ryan Flanagan. He was very fast on practice, Chris, at 29.724 right now.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3 settled so far. Ryan Flanagan with a 29.724. He's got the hot shoe so far here during qualifying. These cookie cutter tracks, Rick, they can pose a challenge, especially with the weather changes. But the big thing that I want to see is how these cars react to them. These new cars on a cookie cutter. It's going to be interesting.
It really is. Linda out there, good evening. It's good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. Hope everything's going well for you. It's Friday, man. I used to be excited for Fridays, but now I'm kind of bummed. Guess that's what happens when you like your job.
Well, the 88 of Jeffrey Cox came across the start-finish line. A 30.010 was the best lap that he could pull out, and that was on the second lap. Linda, I hope you're having a fantastic night. Thanks for coming on out. Gonna hop on board the 54 Matt Gruenberg now. It doesn't look like he's all that ready to go. We'll see if he actually puts one down.
Yeah, he likes to do this. He's gonna go out there. He's gonna just do a really slow lap. He's gonna qualify wherever.
He just wants everybody to see his paint.
That's all it is.
Now
he's like, hey guys, look, now I'm going backwards. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, I gotta go this way.
This way, yeah, I forgot.
I want to make sure I have at least a 7-minute qualifying lap here.
Yeah, now I'm going backwards.
He's just checking the gears to make sure everything's good there.
Yeah,
and then number 54, Toyota Supra.
Over to Joshua Kane in the 28. Too funny. Another Ford Mustang GT driven by Joshua Kane. Kane out there, I believe he has done his hot lap, so this lap is counting. I like that paint job, Rick. I don't know if you noticed it yet or not.
I did notice it there, Mr. Kane. I really appreciate it as an ex-firefighter to see, September 11th was this week, Chris. That's a hard day for me, and it's pretty cool to see a paint out there, remembering the 343 that we lost there on that day in 2001, and of course everybody that we lost there.
Well, Kane puts down a really good first lap, Rick, at 29.835. That's good enough for second spot. Just a little over a tenth over Ryan Flanagan's time. Got a couple other drivers that are out there. We're going to switch on over to Austin Derbyshire. Derbyshire in the 64, good enough for fourth spot with a 33.91 so far, as he cuts the power to that Toyota Turn 3 Racing Network car. And let's see. Oh, Ruben Zepeda stepping out on track. Barstool Sports, number 9. Chevy Camaro. Starting to wind it up, getting ready to really put down a lap time here is Ruben Zepeda. He's been doing it so far in consistency this season. KD isn't racing tonight? My goodness. He took a night off?
And I'm kind of shocked about that. I don't know what to say. I know he's had some good success this week, Chris. I know he won his modified race there. I believe it was the AMA modified race. And so pretty cool to see that. I mean, like I said, there's a lot of drivers out there that have like little team Facebook pages and stuff, and I like to follow. KD's one of my favorites, one of the originals that I started following there. As you know, I always like to find those young drivers out there and watch them grow, and KD's making me proud, for sure.
Absolutely. On board the 45 Camaro. This is Troy Leonard. Troy not having the week he needed last week. My goodness. It just wasn't his week at all. That track giving him fits. Hopefully able to bounce back this week. Troy Leonard at number 45, a perennial favorite here in the Relentless Racing Series.
No, I love the paint scheme that he has. I mean, I'm not really I do like Smart Water every now and then. I mean, I'm a Fuji man if I do drink, or Poland Springs, but hey, listen, nothing wrong with a little bit of Smart Water out there. He's got an Amazon, Gila's on there, Mobile One, and I really like that hood. I love that flag.
Hey, speaking of paint jobs,
yeah?
How about the number 11, Derek Garrison?
Oh, yeah, that's one of my favorites.
Wagner is at the hospital with the girlfriend tonight. Hope it's nothing serious.
Yes, hopefully everything is okay. Linda, that is very, very shocking.
Derek Garrison throws down a 34.49, good enough for 6th spot so far on the qualifying charts. Nate Stewart, U.S. Air Force, all the way, stars and bars on that Toyota Supra. That's a pretty darn cool looking paint job too, actually, the way that's put together.
These guys spend a lot of time finding the right paint job, Chris, or making their own paint job, and they do a fabulous job.
Yeah, they really do. Stewart got into the wall, so he decided to cab that one. Not going to run it through. Chris Severa on track, number 62. Running a turn 3 on the rear quarter panel, but hey, he's looking for sponsors. your logo here right on the hood. He is looking for hood side sponsorship. Rick, I'm pretty sure that's the most expensive spot, but we'll take up those quarter panels for him. No problem at all.
You know, and I love it, Chris, because as I got in here, he's like, hey, we got another turn 3 car out on the track. I'm like, really? We do? Are you sure? He's like, yeah. Severa. He said that since we pronounced his name right, he's going to throw turn 3 on the quarter panel. And there it is, man.
Nate Stewart crossing that start-finish line, I believe, to get himself on the board. Well, I didn't post a time that time by, so let's see what happens on this lap. Matt Gruenberg with a blazingly fast 2 minutes 46 seconds, 0.675 for a qualifying time.
That's what he likes to do. He's going to have some fun here tonight in Vegas, man.
And Nate Stewart crosses the line, a 29.722. It's a good thing he restarted that one because it was good enough to put him up front.
On the bull. Andrew Beach, I know I have it checked here.
I don't know.
The issue, just so you know, the issue with that is, like, we don't mind you guys running custom numbers. I mean, I know you guys spend a lot of time on that too, but the problem is if it doesn't match the iRacing, there's no way that our overlays can pull that over. So we might be talking about you in the number that we're showing on our timing sheet, but the broadcast is seeing something different. It gets confusing.
James Miller stepping out on track, but Rick, he's only got 27 seconds left of the qualifying session. I don't know if he's going to be able to sneak one in here.
Yeah, and if he does, he's really pushing it, Chris. I mean, that's kind of shocking to see that he took so long to get out there on track, because normally we see him and he's right out there, but he's just trying to do what he can do right now.
During the broadcast, we'll make sure all the numbers on the side are matching what the broadcast says, or try to. There is definitely a fine art to that. Need a little help from both sides there. Well, he got out long enough and far enough. I think he did post some sort of time, but that's enough for qualifying. It's time to get to the gridding, Rick.
All right, cue the grid music.
All right, a little bit of a short field here tonight, but we're going to get this thing done anyways on the pole with a 29.722. Driver of number 13, it's Nate Stewart. Starting on the outside front row. Driving the number 19, it's going to be Ryan Flanagan. On the inside of your second row tonight, it's going to be the driver of the number 45, that's Troy Leonard. To his outside, starting in fourth position tonight, car number 28, Joshua Kane. And Rick, starting in fifth place tonight, you have the 24 of Christopher Tate. To his outside in sixth spot, the 62 of Chris Severa.
And starting out in row number 4, Chris, is going to be the 41 of Miguel Zepeda, starting 7th. Next to him is going to be the 11 of Derek Garrison, sitting in 8th. Row number 5 is going to be Ruben Zepeda in the 9, starting in 9th. On his outside is going to be the 64 of Austin Divershire, starting 10th. Row number 6 is going to consist of the 06 of Jeffrey Fisher. And next to him, Jeffrey Cox in the 88, going to be starting 12th. And we have Andrew Beach in the 3, going to be starting 13th in row number 7. Next to him is going to be the 09 of James Miller, starting 14th. Then we have Matt Gruenberg, going to be starting 15th in the number 54. Next to him is going to be the 40 of Liam Sheen. That's going to round out the field, Chris.
I just want to take a moment, correct myself. Matt Gruenberg's qualifying time, Rick, a 7 minutes, almost flat. 7 minutes, 3:38. He was really blistering the track out there. We caught part of that. It was pretty funny.
I think he did most of that in reverse.
Good stuff. Want to go ahead and thank everybody once again for coming out on a Friday night. No better way to start your weekend off than to do it right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. And these guys out here definitely feeling the Turn 3 love. We got a few drivers out there blasting our logo all over it, and I love to see that.
And look at that beautiful pace car, Chris.
Oh man, What did they do?
Well, that is the Porsche 911, my friend.
2019 Porsche 911, the official
Las Vegas pace car of the Relentless Racing Series. They like to mix it up, man.
Oh, they do. I love it. Getting ready to go green. The pace car drops off the racing surface. It's up to Nate Stewart, the 13, to get this one going. Waiting on that green. And it's out. We are going green flag racing. Nate Stewart with a little bit of a jump there, the 45, trying to fill the hole. That is Troy Leonard in the 45. 19 closes down. Not able to fill the gap, though, and that's going to give Troy Leonard the inside heading into turn 1.
Right now, Troy Leonard's battling it out really hard there with the 19 of Ryan Flanagan, trying to take over second position. But right now, Flanagan got that high line working with him. He's got the 28 right behind him, Chris. He's coming through now. Also, Troy Leonard might be falling back a couple of spots. Right now, they're drag racing down through the front stretch.
Yeah, Joshua Kane in the 28 to the outside. And Troy Leonard trying to defend position on the inside. And Rick, that didn't last long. Joshua Kane gets around, takes over third spot. Here comes Christopher Tate in the 24. He's working the outside now. The inside not moving yet. The 24, Chris Tate trying to take away position from Troy Leonard. Leonard on the inside, can't do a thing about it. Here comes Chris Tate in the 24 across the start-finish line right now. And Tate is in fourth spot, pushing Troy Leonard back to fifth. Behind Leonard, it's Miguel Zepeda. Zepeda actually got a little tight there, pushed up a little too far. He tried to move up to gain a little position on Leonard and just went a little too far. And now we've got some shucking and jiving in the back. We got Matt Gruenberg, who started way out in that last set of cars. And man, oh man, he has made his way up to seventh spot already. Gruenberg on a mission, along with James Miller in the 9. Miller, last season's champion, starting in the back as well tonight, and Miller following Gruenberg on that inside line, doing a good job. Got a little bit loose on that white line, though, Rick. You got to be careful of those left side tires.
Yeah, you really do. I mean, I know when you come down to the front stretch, Chris, a lot of drivers like to get down onto the apron to go across the finish line. You do pick up some speed and momentum there. But if you do it a little too early, especially in the corners, it could spell disaster. So those guys really got to pay attention on that and make sure that they're not hitting that. Right now, I'm just looking at that track temperature, Chris. It actually dropped a few more degrees, sitting at 94. So still slick out there. But these drivers are going to be able to handle that just fine.
Slick maybe, Rick, but it's not going to stop him from going 3 wide for a little while there. As Chris Rivera was working the field to the inside, or excuse me, he was on the outside when that was going on. Now looking maybe to the middle. Chris Rivera not trying to lose any more spots as Gruenberg was able to get around. Here comes the 62. Man, I'm getting myself all confused. The 09, James Miller changed his number on it, and I still ain't used to it, Rick.
Oh, you know, those numbers, they get, when we're broadcasting, Chris, especially throughout multiple seasons, you know, we get to know the drivers by the numbers too. And it's funny because we'll be talking in real life and, you know, we'll be like, yeah, you know, the number 60 guy, you know, Fisher, he's doing good, and at 25, and wait a minute, no, it's all changed up now.
Yeah. This guy's keeping us on our toes, man. I love it. Up front, it's Nate Stewart. Nate Stewart's starting to open up a little bit of a gap over Flanagan, 0.3 of a second heading into the corner. We'll see if that opens up at all out of the backstretch, and it has about 0.449. And these guys are actually kicking it up pretty good here. Lap 7 of 120. I guess we should probably bring up the old ticker so everybody can see what's going on.
Yeah, it's okay, KR. I was going to let you not run it for a little while. Oh, wait. We love you, KR.
Got another little battle going on for fifth spot here. Gruenberg looking to try and take it away from Leonard. Leonard going backwards. Leonard has fallen a lot of positions here so far.
Yeah, he started here in third. Now he's sitting in fifth, but he's going to be losing that spot there as Gruenberg's really trying to make that outside lane work. They're catching up to the 28. I'm not exactly sure what is going on with Kane. Got a little slow there. Like Leonard's going to be looking on the inside, still trying to figure out if he can get by him. But here comes Matt Grunberg once again. Probably thinking about giving the 28 a little push, saying, hey, you got to go.
Just checking the right side of the 28, right? I see no damage, so I'm not sure what's going on with Kane. But not usually off the pace like that as Joshua Kane, and he is certainly not up to quite full song. They go 3 wide. Holy cow, 3 wide in Vegas. Hot track, 94 degrees, and this is a tough one to pull. And they're doing it. Oh my goodness. These guys are,
wow.
They're something. Oh Lord. I had to catch myself.
To get up front. Yeah, he wants to get up front, and he's going to do whatever he has to do now.
Yeah.
Going right down the middle? That's kind of scary, man.
Miller follows him through in the 09. Unbelievable. I love it. The 45, Troy Leonard finds himself all of a sudden 7th spot. The 62, Chris Severa right behind him in 8th spot. Severa trying to figure out a way around him. He's got to work. Oh, no. Severa gets into a wall. Has to let off. And there goes one of those Turn 3 Racing Network quarter panels. It's been scrubbed.
That's all right. It looked good hanging on my wall, I can tell you that.
The 09, James Miller, figuring out a way around Josh Kane. Kane now falling backwards. It's Ford versus Toyota. 2x2 for 5th spot. And right now, James Miller has the edge by about a half a car. Coming to the start-finish line. And Miller able to hold on to it. So James Miller looking pretty good heading into turn 1. The 45, Troy Leonard, starting to inch his way back into the battle just a little bit on that inside. Car maybe starting to come to his liking just a little bit more.
Miguel Zepeda, he's right there too, Chris, in the 41. He's just trying to figure out what these guys are doing. I mean, most drivers seem to really like the middle of the track there, as it really works. I mean, you can really get some grip there and do what you have to do. But boy, Leonard's definitely not giving up there in that 45. He's trying to get around saying, hey guys, come on.
If anybody can figure out what these guys are doing, they're better than I am. These guys will keep you on your toes all night long. Here we are on lap 14 of 120. We haven't had a lead change yet, Rick, but there's been plenty of action throughout the field.
Yeah, you know, there really has, Chris. Now I'm watching the 9 of Ruben Zepeda. He's trying to make a pass there on the 62 of Chris Bea. I'm not sure exactly. I mean, scrubbing that wall, I'm not sure he's battling back. He's not ready to give it up yet. Actually, the 9's starting to fall back now. Here comes Jeffrey Cox in the 88 on the outside, Chris.
Yeah, Cox with a new paint job tonight in that 88. A little MagnaFlow exhaust action. Seeing the right side of the 62, it doesn't look too bad. It is caved in a little bit right there, but I don't think that's going to affect them too much. And these guys do have one quick repair to use throughout the night, so we haven't seen the last of Sevilla at all.
Oh, here comes the other Turn 3 Racing Network driver, the 11, Derek Garrison. He's out there. He's actually starting to pull up into the draft there of the 9. We'll see what he's able to do with that car looking pretty good out there tonight. Jeffrey Fisher out there in the 06. He's sitting in 13th position, Chris. Just kind of doing what, I mean, this is what Fisher does. You know, during the beginning parts of the race, he just takes it easy, does what he has to do. He'll start pouring on, though, as the laps tick off. Then we got that beautiful number 3 GM Good Wrench Service Plus out there. Andrew Beach, he's out there. He's kind of doing the same thing. He started 14th, or 13th. He's sitting in 14th right now, so we only fell back one position, but hey. I'm looking forward to seeing that 3 make a move up through the field here shortly.
Derbyshire, we missed what happened with him, but he is gone, loaded up and went home. Liam Sheen never started the race, so 14 drivers on track. And Rick, it might not be too much longer before we start seeing a challenge for the lead because Chris Tate came to race tonight.
Yeah, Chris Tate sitting there in that number 24 monster machine. He's out there. He's starting to really catch up to Nate Stewart there. And of course, he's got Matt Grunberg right there behind him. So that's a little incentive to, get going.
It really is. But Tate, he's no slouch. He's been with these guys now for a little while, and I believe he is due one. And he is definitely catching with maybe a little bit of help with from Grunberg, but he is definitely catching. I just saw one driver. He was off the pace quite a bit. I believe it is the 28, Joshua Kane, and now goes around, does Kane, but he's off the racing surface, so he needs to spin that thing around and get it going, or he's going to go down a lap.
Yeah, his Ford Mustang definitely not happy here, Chris. I'm not exactly sure what happened. I don't know if he missed the shift. I mean, iRacing's done so much stuff. I mean, we got new tire dynamics and models, and we got, everything, just the physics all the way around. And one thing, a few builds ago, they actually put in a clutch that you can actually fail. If you go into a shift and you miss it, you have a chance of actually slipping a gear and slowing down. So, not exactly sure what is going on right now with the 28. But that car definitely not happy.
And he's now fallen one lap. In the grand scheme, it may not matter. We do stage racing here, so we will have a caution flag. We do have two cars, though, Rick, that are one lap down. One came down on his own, though. Chris Severa decided he was going to come down pit road. He's one lap down, sitting in 14th spot, so Kane is in front of him. Severa could probably stay out during that first caution flag. Joshua Kane going to have to come down for pit service. Oh, the 24 stepping out. Chris Tate stepping out big time and into the wall. Caution flag waving. And everybody doing a good job of avoiding that one. We're going to have to go back and take a look here and see what happened with the 24. He was following the 13 of Stewart for the lead. Comes back over the white line and just all of a sudden gets loose. Very odd set of circumstances there. Again, everybody doing a really good job of avoiding. Go back one more time. The 54, Matt Gruenberg, was starting to catch the back bumper when that all happened. 24 was just really moving that wheel quite a bit. And when he comes back, yeah, he had lost some speed. I think the 54 may have touched him a little bit, and then this car being a little looser than maybe these guys are yet accustomed to, I think went around on him.
Yeah, it seemed like Grunberg just bumped him just a little bit there, Chris, just let him know that he was there, and it took the air off that rear spoiler and just sent that car around.
Well, I think it all came from when Tate, he kind of came down and then back up across the white line, and that car stepped out just a little bit, so he lost some speed. Gruenberg was right there. He couldn't do anything about it. Nonetheless, the first caution of the race happening here on lap number 22. And we got some pit stops happening. Remember, we do stage racing here on Friday nights. Lap 30 is the slated first stop. And looks like somebody may have missed his pit stop. Miguel Zepeda drives in, drives out, totally missed his pit stop, so he's back out on track. We'll keep an eye and see if he comes down pit road again. It's going to be a slight battle off from pit road. The 13 is going to win. The 19 of Ryan Flanagan right there. Then then Matt Gruenberg. And the 54, Troy Leonard coming out in 5th spot, Miller in 6th. So kind of a shake-up here in the top 3. And Miguel Zepeda took a drive through pit road. Didn't like what he saw. Maybe his crew wasn't ready, Rick.
Or maybe he's just thinking, hey, listen, maybe I can lead a lap here, so.
Well, we'll find out in just a moment. He has not been credited with a lap led yet. Now he comes down pit road. So, yeah, I think he just may have missed his pit stall.
That's easy to do when you have a bunch of other cars pitting around you, Chris. I mean, iRacing has a good job. We got pit boards and everything, but sometimes if you just don't pay attention, or somebody has one that's close to yours, you know, you might pull into the wrong stall. I've done it a couple times myself. Someday, I know everyone on the forums asking for it. They want actual pit boards that are going to move up and down just like the real guys.
Oh, that would be pretty cool, actually.
Hashtag soon.
Well, under our first caution of the night, and it's going to be Nate Stewart, your race leader, the 13. He's led every single lap here so far. Doesn't have the fastest lap, though, Rick. Fastest lap was put down by Josh Kane back on lap 2. A 29.696 for that fast lap. Typically, we'll see a handful of drivers or so just cracking into those 29s. The rest of the drivers in the 30s, and that's about what we're seeing the end on right here tonight. But very, very tight racing so far. Been a lot of fun.
I mean, these guys are doing what they have to do, Chris. I mean, we got about 5 laps left to go before that first stage ends. So these guys are really going to be pouring it on here towards the end of this. Lights go off on the pace car.
Rick, it's Friday night. We're about to have a restart. We're going to have a 3-lap shootout before the end of the first stage. I think we need to crank it up.
Let's do it.
Nate Stewart, driver of the 13, your race leader, getting set to take the green flag once again. If you got speakers, now's the time to use them because we're going to crank it up. And caution waving for stage number 1 coming to an end. The number 13, Nate Stewart, going to be the stage 1 winner here tonight. Congratulations goes out to the 13 of Nate Stewart. He's led every single lap so far. His best lap time of 29.756. just enough of a lead to call it. Matt Gruenberg was second in that spot. So these guys may or may not come down pit road again. We're going to have to wait to find out.
Well, you know, Chris, if I was out there, I'd probably go in just for a little splash and go.
And here they come, Rick. Well, not all of them, though. So James Miller, by staying out, has now led a lap here tonight. He picks up bonus points for doing so. James Miller, last season's champion, and actually the inaugural season's champion as well. Ryan Flanagan with a great pit stop. Gets out in front. Ruben Zepeda still out there. So the top three going to be James Miller, Jeffrey Fisher, and Ruben Zepeda. 1, 2, 3. Ryan Flanagan going to come back out and join us in 4th spot. I just realized that was still up. That's confusing. Well, Rick, what do you say we get a chat in with Nate Stewart now that the pit stops are done?
Nate Stewart, you got Rick and Chris up in the booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Hey, man, congratulations. How's that number 13 feeling out there for you?
Fast and loose.
Fast and, hey, loose is fast, buddy. So so we know the track. I mean, obviously a little warm. You guys are kind of slatting around a little bit out there. You know, you got stage 1. You think you're going to make a run for stage 2 also?
I don't know. I have some real life things going on right now, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to finish the race. But I feel like if I'm able to get to stage 2, I should be able to compete for the stage win. But Matt's the fastest car out here. I don't know why he decides to run 5-7 minute laps in qualifying every time.
We're trying to figure that out also. But hey, listen, congratulations once again. Is there anybody on that 13 you'd like to thank?
Yeah, the United States Air Force, DJ Harris Designs for painting up this absolutely beautiful American flag U.S. Air Force car that you guys are seeing tonight. It's probably my favorite paint scheme ever that I've ran. Light Technology Gaming PCs, Exalta, Mountain Dew, the University of Kentucky, and I want to thank the admins for putting on this league. And once again, thanks you guys at turn 3 for broadcasting this.
All right, buddy. Well, hey, listen, it is a beautiful paint job. We like seeing it out there. Congratulations once again, and good luck for the rest of the race.
Appreciate it. Hope you guys have fun up there.
Thank you.
He hopes we're having fun. Rick.
We always have fun, bro.
Man, we're having fun. Well, good job once again to Nate Stewart picking up that stage 1 victory. Hope whatever's going on in the real world will pass him by very quickly. Hate to lose him out there tonight. So 1, 2, 3, it's going to be Ryan Flanagan, Matt Gruenberg, and Nate Stewart. Troy Leonard starting on the outside 2nd row. Chris Tate in the 24 inside 3rd row. To his outside, the 88 of Jeff Cox. Got a little bit of blinking going on out there. It's a little worrisome. Everybody was able to make it back onto the lead lap during those 2 cautions. So lead lap drivers 1 through 14. And Ryan Flanagan leading them to the line. The official pace car of the Relentless Racing Series here in Las Vegas, the 2019 Porsche. And that Porsche is getting ready to take a nice hard left-hand turn. There she goes. And we're getting ready to go back to the green. Ryan Flanagan leading the pack, and he hits the loud button.
It looks
Joshua
like the
King.
88 there spun tires just a little bit further back there, Chris.
Yeah, I caught that and actually went back as we see 3 wide racing going into turn number 1, the 41, the 88, and the 28 trying to get it done going into turn 1, coming out of turn 2. On to the backstretch, Jeffrey Cox in the 88 takes the advantage, but Payne able to pick up a spot as the 41 and Miguel Zepeda falls 1 on that restart. Here comes the 11. That's Derek Garrison. Garrison trying to get that inside line moving. He's got the 09 of James Miller right behind him. That's a good push partner right there, bud.
Yeah, now we have a little battle for the lead, Chris. Here comes Matt Grunberg. Grunberg goes on to the inside of the 19 of Flanagan.
Yeah, not able to get it done.
Not able to do
it.
Here comes the 24 around the 13.
Battles for first and third happening on track. The 19 able to defend off once again. Christopher Tate in the 24 looking to battle with the 13. The 13 is your stage 1 winner tonight. That's Nate Stewart. Stewart finding himself in a position he hasn't really had to deal with much lately, Rick, and that's being passed.
He's doing a good job trying to keep it there going on the outside lane. 24 Christopher Tate right now pulls ahead, but nope. Here comes Stewart once again. He's like, okay, we can play this game.
At the line, it's going to be Stewart and Gruenberg also working to get around Flanagan. Flanagan trying to battle back on the outside, tries to get on the throttle, hoping it'll stick. It does. They go side by side down the backstretch. Gruenberg, Flanagan to the outside, Gruenberg and that yellow Toyota to the inside. And they battle again. The 19 able to carry a little bit of momentum here tonight, but Gruenberg trying to battle. And here comes the 13 to prove everybody wrong. Nate Stewart with a great move as we go under caution. It looks like the 3 and the 06 involved. We'll have to go back and take a peek at that one. So we're watching the 06 and the 3. The 06 had to get off the gas. 3 had no place to go. It gets into the back of him. And that's going to cause Fisher to go for a ride. And the 3 skids right by him. So we are under caution once again. And it looks like Jeffrey Fisher may have opted to go with a new car. So Fisher using that quick repair already, Rick.
That's kind of surprising, Chris. Usually Fisher will hang on to that thing right till the last minute when he has to use it. Comes out here, so you know we're only on lap 39 of 120 right now. Still a lot of laps and a lot of racing left to do.
Well, Ryan Flanagan was able to hold off for just a little bit, enough to hold on to the lead, and now he gets the honor of leading all the cars that want to come down pit road. Ryan Flanagan in the 19 gives up the race lead. Derek Garrison stays out. Garrison just got credited with leading a lap. Well, we're under caution once again, so I think we're going to step away, take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
Assist to the front bumper, and he hits him again now. Ray Alfala into the outside wall.
He's going to pass nearly 3 cars down that front straightaway, and he's going to get them all done with. What amazing
Race lead to the inside goes Logan Cloudman is going to touch in. Pit press sideways.
saved it.
What a save.
Look to the outside as Cronkite goes off. De Jong into second place.
Going for the switchback. Oh, pinpoint driving.
It's howling down to the inside.
I tried this contact though. Slide left to the racetrack. Chris Leonard drives it back down underneath, and he takes that second spot right back. Joker goes to Garrett Lowe.
Garrett Lowe should take victory with all that contact.
Is
try and make the move around the outside the Parabolica. That's not going to work, but he's going to try and get the cutback here. Get the run out the Parabolica. That's beautifully done there. Makashuba, there's a little bit of door banging as well.
Bear with me, guys. I was just checking on some stuff here while we were under commercial. The number 11 of Derek Garrison surrendered the lead to come down pit road, and that hands the lead off to Miguel Zepeda in the 41. Zepeda is your race leader. It's got James Miller starting on the side of him. Matt Gruenberg going to restart in third spot. Nate Stewart in fourth. So during the post-stage interview, Stewart credited Gruenberg with having the fastest car out there. Now he finds himself, Rick, having to line up next to him. Pace car leading the way for just a little bit longer, getting set to go down pit road. And I think we're setting up for a pretty darn good next portion of the race here. Miguel Zepeda out there as your race leader in car number 41. James Miller to the outside. Gruenberg, that yellow car, to the inside. And Nate Stewart, the U.S. Air Force machine, on the outside. Yep. Yep, very nice. Pace car takes a hard left-hand turn. Miguel Zepeda in control of the field. And he hits that loud button. Rick, we go back under the green. I want to go ahead and thank everybody as the cars are coming up to speed already. Everybody for coming out and ending your work week. Starting a weekend right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. We are watching the Relentless Racing Series, their Xfinity Car Series. And so far, it's been a pretty good one. We're working stage number 2 right now. It's set to end on lap number 60, and we've got Miguel Zepeda out there leading laps under the green. I know that. Well, why don't we do it? We'll hop into the cockpit of Nate Stewart, and we'll go around the track a couple of times. There it is. That's the view from the camera mounted on top of the helmet of Nate Stewart. Stewart working the inside of Matt Gruenberg. Has him by just a little bit at this point. There's a battle back, so we're going to hop back out and watch this battle for second spot. Matt Gruenberg to the outside. Nate Stewart to the inside. And isn't that amazing, Rick? You know, like I said, he credited the 54 for being the fastest car out there tonight. And yet here he is battling with him for second spot. Gruenberg seems to have installed some rocket packs, though, because he was able to finally clear the 13, and now he's catching up to Miguel Zepeda just like that. Now, I'll tell you what else he's got. He's got a really fast car, Rick. He just passed the 41 of Miguel Zepeda on the flat surface of the apron of the front stretch, and he made it look very easy. Christopher Tate in the 24. He's driving in 4th spot right now. Maybe he's trying to sniff out the top 3 as he is edging closer to the 41 of Zepeda. And Tate is now right to the back bumper of the 41, heading into turns 1 and 2. So Tate may be trying to set him up for a pass, maybe off from 3 and 4. Ooh, 13 going slow. I think he rubbed the wall a little bit. Take a look on the other side if we can. Yeah, that's a shame, because that will hurt that car. That will upset that car's balance just a little bit. But Stewart's still very fast, holding on to 4th spot, trying to gather it back up, maybe try and catch the guys ahead of him. It's going to be Christopher Tate at the line. He had second for just a moment. I think he was credited with second at the line, but Miguel Zepeda trying to fight back on that inside line, and only a couple of drivers really have been able to use that outside line. So we'll see if Zepeda is one of those. The 24 makes that pass, and Christopher Tate takes over 2nd spot. Miguel Zepeda falls to 3rd. The 09 of James Miller now to the side of the 13. Nate Stewart, that fender is upsetting that car, because here comes James Miller trying to pass, and that's a position 4 pass if Miller can get around him, Rick. So obviously that 13 hurting a little bit more than we were thinking. Oh, aggressive move from the 13. Chops the nose off from Troy Leonard. Leonard starts to give him a little bit of room, falls in line. And here comes the 88 of Jeffrey Cox to the inside now. Cox looking for a way to round that 45. The 45 looking around, trying to figure out a way around the 13. So lots of action happening back here mid-pack. Yeah, 88's working the inside. He can't quite do it, so he falls back in line, but he can't. The 62 of Chris Severa, he has taken up residency in that outside line. So Cox forced to kind of go again. He goes to the inside and can't do it once again. The 13 defending. So what the 13 is losing in top end speed, he's kind of gaining in consistency. The 88 having a hard time trying to get around him right now. And Cox is trying to wind it up one more time. Meanwhile, the 62 of Cervera is starting to battle it in. And yeah, Joshua Kane. Oh boy. It's never good when you're going the wrong way on the track. We're going to have to go back and take a peek, see what happened there. Watching the number 28, Joshua Kane. Oh, gets into the wall and around he goes, and this is where he hits the inside, and oh yeah. Honestly, not as much damage as you expect there. He hit that inside retaining wall very hard. Came back around and knocked the sheet metal off in the back of it. And the 28 fires back up and gets rolling once again. So lap 58 of 120, and looks like Gruenberg, unless he has to come down pit road, is going to stay out, Rick. Oh, wait a second. Why is it showing that we're still under green? I figured that would have brought out the caution. I guess it didn't. I thought for sure that that was going to bring out the caution. Well, Gruenberg's going to do what Gruenberg does best. He's going to get through turns 3 and 4 and win yet another stage here at the Relentless Racing Series. Matt Gruenberg, your stage 2 winner. He's led 15 laps. His best lap time of 29.626. And at the time that flag flew, he had a 2.6 second lead over Christopher Tate in the 24, and it was growing. That Supra is doing something special out there again tonight. Oh, man. Really? Holy cow. Well, Jeffrey Fisher has loaded up, and he is no longer in the server. That's a shame. Hate to see that happen to Fisher. About 13 laps ago, he decided to call it a night. I've seen the back of his hauler, Rick. It is something special. Plush couches, 72-inch screens, 3 of them. All quality 4K monitors. It's incredible to see the kind of stuff he can. And now he's getting to watch the race from inside that hauler. Oh yeah, they live it up, man. You're talking lobster. Oh yeah. Well, let's see if we can dial him up here. Driver of the number 54. This is Chris and Rick up in the booth. Do you have a copy? Well, Matt, looks like Mr. Stage is back in the game. Didn't win a stage tonight, but you just won that one. So you moved. Well, first of all, I gotta back up a little bit. I gotta congratulate you on your qualifying time. 7 minutes and change. That was some quality speed right there. I think you go faster if you're using the forward gears. All right, so let's get back down to it. Oh no. So you come out here, you weren't able to get to the front for the first stage, but here you are sitting up front now. The Toyota Supra looking pretty strong out there. How does it feel on track? Is it loose at all to you? Okay, so your trick is obviously not exiting low. Stay up about what, a groove, or do you have to go all the way towards the wall? Yeah, and you definitely have that. We're seeing that, especially in this little bit of time that you've had the lead there, the last 16 laps or so. You can really see that speed kind of building up. Well, it's not building up so much as just not dropping off like everybody else. All right, bud. Well, we're gonna just do it. All right, Matt. Well, we hope to talk to you again later on. You keep taking care of that equipment, and we sure will. Good luck to you the rest of the way. And that's Matt Grunberg. Not sure exactly what channel he was in, but that's okay. So winner of stage 2 tonight, Matt Grunberg in the number 54, getting set to finish this one out. We do know that we're going to have to stop one more time at the very least. As these guys are only good for a little over 30 laps on a tank of fuel. Yeah. Yeah, going to be pretty cool. And I almost regretted asking that question, Rick, but I figured I'd try and sneak one in, and he gave it up. So Matt Grunberg, your race leader. On the inside, though, it's going to be James Miller on the restart. Jeffrey Cox in the 88 restarts third. Troy Leonard fourth. Ruben Zepeda going to restart in fifth. And Derek Garrison rounding out the top three. Pace car is off. We'll be back under the green flag, and Matt Grunberg takes off once again. Oh, the 09 and James Miller is firmly in second spot. Troy Leonard is in third, but his outside is starting to get crowded. Derek Garrison starting to move in along with the 24, Christopher Tate. Tate may be thinking taking this thing 3 wide. Garrison backs off a little bit. He's not going to let that happen. Stays down to the inside. Christopher Tate in the 24 lines up side by side with the 45. Troy Leonard looks like he might be losing a position to Tate in the 24 and does at the line. So that outside line holding that momentum this time through, and Tate finishes that pass, moves down to the inside lane. Oh, we got the 9 going around. That's Ruben Zepeda. And he may have collected a few others. This time there's a caution on the track. We're going to go back and take a peek and see what happened. Okay, the camera is doing something really fun there. So we're watching the 9 car. He's being followed by the 13. On the inside, it's the 88. Oh boy, Cox got a little tight and got into the 9, and that set off a chain reaction. Yeah, Kane's car looking pretty beat up. I do believe he still has the quick repair. Maybe not, though. No, he used it because he's got sheet metal on the back. So Kane's night may be done. That's too bad because, well, you look at the back bumper of that thing. I thought it was dirt or something until I see what I see now. And yeah, long week. So the 54, Matt Grunberg, still your race leader. Jeffrey Cox now in second spot. Miguel Zepeda is in third. I think we're going to take a quick little break, guys. We're going to be right back right around the corner.
Good evening, race fans, and welcome to Friday night. It's the Relentless Racing Series coming at you. Green flag is out.
And we're back live. I want to thank Jeffrey Fisher for that last commercial, man. That is so cool the way he cut that thing up and really made it his own. That is really cool to watch. I could watch that one over and over and over again. Great camera work and really good editing skills. Put on by our own Jeffrey Fisher in the 06 tonight. Unfortunately, not going to be able to finish the race tonight, being shown 25 laps down right.
Yeah, it is unfortunate, Chris, but man, let me tell you, like you said, that video, beautiful. I mean, a lot of the paint schemes that Fisher does, outstanding talent, man. And I mean, he's got it out on the track tonight, just not his night here in Las Vegas. You know, he rolled the dice, and Lady Luck wasn't on his side. That's unfortunate, but I know he's going to be coming back strong for next week. But man, that video is cool. And Troy Leonard, the Diet Coke car, you need to bring it back. We also saw the 13. That was Nate Stewart there in Montreal there last season, Chris. That was an awesome race to watch. And, you know, still repping the Air Force, just with the stars and bars on the car, which look really good out there. Nate Stewart not having the night ever since he contacted the wall there, Chris. But he's not giving up. He's just out there doing what he's got to do.
Yeah, right now he's on pit road, getting some repairs done, along with Ruben Zepeda and Josh Kane. So top 10 drivers are on the track. Matt Grunberg, Miguel Zepeda, Christopher Tate, James Miller, Troy Leonard, Derek Garrison, Ryan Flanagan, Andrew Beach, Jeffrey Cox, Chris Severa, the drivers on track right now, getting ready to take the green flag. And Matt Grunberg wastes no time. He is gone. Shot out of a cannon is the 54. The battle right now for second spot. Miguel Zepeda on the inside, trying to put a challenge on the 09. of James Miller. Miller fighting back on the outside, takes position away, and actually holds position because he was in second on the restart. So the 09 of James Miller holding on to second spot. Here comes Tate in the 24. He's been fast all night long. The Christopher Tate takes over third spot. Miguel Zepeda falls another position. Right behind him in fifth spot, it's going to be Derek Garrison. Garrison looking to have a nice top 5 finish tonight. He's long overdue, Rick, and that Turn 3 Racing Network Chevy Camaro would look real good in the top 3. Derek Garrison getting around Miguel Zepeda. Has him going into the corner, fully passed at this point. Now a battle right behind them. It's going to be Ryan Flanagan in the 19, the 45 of Leonard. Leonard falls a position to the 19. Beach coming in the 3. Andrew Beach trying to make a pass on Troy Leonard. Beach to the inside, going into 1. Beach is there. He's just got to hold it down one more time as Troy Leonard was able to get to the outside, and he left it there. Beach had no place to go, so he had to stay down. That's going to kill some of the momentum that the 3 was enjoying. Jeffrey Cox on the outside starting to join that battle. The 88 moving to the outside of the 3. The 3 hanging out in that inside lane.
Yeah, the 3's trying to do whatever he can possibly do, Chris. And I'm just amazed just seeing that car out there on the track again. Obviously, that was Dale Sooner's super speedway car. I remember it because of that bright number 3. He actually won with that car at Talladega there, the last race that he actually ever won. And I've always loved that car. And man, does it look good out there tonight. He's trying to do everything he possibly can. But here comes the 62, Chris Trevea. Gonna be able to get around. Yep, take over 9th position there. That 62 is definitely on the move now.
Matt Gruenberg is race leader, but James Miller is starting to close the gap a little bit. He's bringing Christopher Tate along with him. Miller right now enjoying the draft off in the 54. He's going to find a little extra speed getting around Las Vegas.
Yeah, I mean, he is right there, Chris. I mean, another beautiful paint job. I just love the way that thing looks, man. Miller out there doing everything he had, kind of peeking on the inside right now. Wasn't able to do it, but here comes Christopher Tate. Now, we've seen Tate, and we've actually broadcast with him at a couple of different leagues that he races, Chris, so it's really good to see him out there. He's done a fabulous job, man, but that 24 Monster Energy wants to go. But right now, the 09, James Miller says, nope, this is my spot, man. I want to put my crosshairs on that number 54 and try to get around him and lead some laps here.
So the 09 of James Miller successfully defending against Christopher Tate. And it looks like Tate maybe starting to catch the back bumper one more time on Miller.
Yeah, he's looking to make another run, Chris. See, he runs a little lower there, looks on the inside. But right now, that 09 is very fast on that outside lane.
Across the start-finish line, starting lap number 78. We go back a little ways, take a peek at the 19 of Ryan Flanagan. Flanagan right now is rounding out the top 5. He was able to get around Troy Leonard. Miguel Zepeda started up towards the front right now, pushed all the way back to 10th spot. And he gets around him.
Yeah, he got really tight there, and then he kind of got it down towards the end of the track. He was able to hang on to it, though, Chris, but that's quite unfortunate. The 19 now, Ryan Flanagan got around the 11 of Derek Garrison to take over 4th position, Chris. And here comes Troy Leonard.
Troy Leonard just getting around the track right now, Rick. I think he's got some more power under that Chevy hood than we've seen so far tonight. The 45 knows how to drive, and he might have just been saving it up a little bit. Now with 40 laps to go, it might be time to start moving it up towards the front as he gets around Garrison in the 11. That pushes Garrison back to 6th spot.
Yeah, exactly, Chris. And here comes the 88 of Jeffrey Cox. 62 Cereyas. He's trying to get up there. I mean, he's had kind of an up and down night also there in the 62 machine, but hey, he's hanging on, doing what he's got to do.
62 looking for sponsorship. You too could have your name right on the hood of that number 62.
I mean, you could always sponsor it and you can have some caffeine-free Diet Coke on there.
Oh, that's true. Caffeine-free Diet Coke does it for me.
It tastes just like Diet Coke.
I can see you smiling through the computer. Up front, Matt Gruenberg. Christopher Tate was able to get around the 09 of Miller, so Tate becoming a bit of an unspoken factor so far here. Tate is moving, but he hasn't been able to get up front yet. Christopher Tate looking to try and rectify that situation. His fast lap, Rick, just came about 11 laps ago, lap 72, 29.447, a good 0.2 of a second faster than what was previously there.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, Chris, that's how Tate drives, Chris. He does this thing. He just stays in the back. He makes his moves when he can make them. I mean, a lot of them come on pit road. His crew very on top of things, and then he gets out there and he just fights. And right now, like you said, I mean, he's got a little bit of a gap between him and the leader. It's 0.233 now, 0.283. He's got the 09 behind him. I mean, he's definitely fast out there. That 24 really, I mean, if he gets up to Matt Gruenberg, gets up to the bumper, I think he's definitely going to be putting on some pressure onto the 54.
Well, unfortunate bit of news. The number 13 of Nate Stewart unfortunately had to load it up tonight. Not going to finish tonight's event. Right now being scored in 11th spot. Joshua Kane finds himself on pit road, and Ruben Zeppa is still in there. Kane came out, ran a lap or two, and then right back in. So obvious trouble still hanging out on the 28.
Nate Stewart did warn us that he had some stuff going on in real life. So, as you said, Chris, I pray that everything is okay and, it's nothing major. Fortunately, kind of stinks here for Las Vegas. 17 laps down as of right now, Chris. But, hey, listen, there's always next week, and real life has to come first.
Yeah, absolutely. So the question of the day right now, Rick, is when are pit stops going to happen? Because they are going to happen, and it should be relatively soon. I would say within the next 10 laps, we're going to start seeing some pit stops. And it looks like the 09, before that happens, is going to challenge back again for second spot. Chris Tate hung up on the outside. The 9 of James Miller peeking on the inside. Oh, it might have been a little contact.
That was net code.
Net code is the call. And the 24 gets out of it pretty decently. But down pit road, we're going to have to go back and take a look at that one again. So we're going to watch this one from the chopper cam so we can kind of see exactly what happened. The 09 starts moving up. Can't tell from that angle if there was actual contact or not. But iRacing does use a predictive type software. You saw the 9, he was pushing up, and that may have been net code, as Rick said. No way to really know for sure. Actually, there is. Let's go back one more time. Go through that corner one more time. No contact. That was definitely net code, or the 24 got loose. One or the other.
Yeah, it definitely looked like net code there, Chris. I mean, when I was watching it, it was at the perfect angle, and there was still a huge gap in between both cars there. And I mean, like you said, I mean, it's just the way that iRacing software works.
Yeah, it's that predictive software. It's gotten every driver on iRacing at one time or another. Chris Severa going to be your race leader. He's looking for a sponsor. He's out there leading the race here on lap number 89 of 120. We're under caution. And that actually fell at a pretty decent time, Rick, because we knew pit stops were going to happen. And here's a freebie for everybody to come down, get a drink, wipe your hands off, get refocused, and come back out on track.
Now, the real interesting thing, though, there, Chris, is when these guys get to go green again, they're going to be able to go the full length of the race from what we were told. I mean, we were told about 35 laps on fuel. So I think they might have enough to go. It's going to be like what Matt Grunberg said, you know, who saves their tires, who saves their equipment. And that's going to make a huge difference there.
Well, Severa takes a look around and says, oh, everybody else came down pit road. I guess I will too. And that's going to hand the lead right back over to Grunberg. Severa just staying out to lead a lap.
And he actually led too, so that's going to be good for some bonus points there, Chris. And nothing wrong with that. Long season still left to go. He'll be sponsored before the end of the season, I guarantee that.
Top 5 on the track right now. Matt Grunberg, the number 54, the 09 of James Miller. Then it's the 11 of Derek Garrison, Troy Leonard in 4th, and Miguel Zepeda rounding out that top 5. And as I'm saying that, it looks like Leonard pops ahead of Garrison. Andrew Beach in 6th spot, the 88 of Jeffrey Cox in 7th. Ryan Flanagan, Christopher Tate, and Chris Severa, who's actually getting service done on his vehicle right now, so he will come back out in 10th position. Joshua Kane and Ruben Zepeda still on pit road. Kane this time has been on for about 6 minutes, and Zepeda has been out on pit road for almost 17 minutes, Rick, 22 laps.
Kind of an unfortunate night here for a lot of drivers, Chris. We have 4 of them that are actually out of the race. Nate Stewart, Jeffrey Fisher, Austin Dabershire, Liam Sheen never even started the race here tonight. So that's kind of unfortunate there for the 40 team. That 2 guys been on pit road for a very long extended period of time.
I want to thank everybody again for coming on out on a Friday night, enjoying a little bit of racing to get your weekend going right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. It's the Relentless Racing Series, their Xfinity Car Series. Again, here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, getting ready to hit the last quarter of this race, Rick, as we're on lap 91 of 120. That's 30 laps to go. It'll be 29 when they cross the line to start this one back up under the green flag.
It's going to be interesting, Chris. We got some big, heavy hitters there in the front. We got Matt Grunberg leading these guys. You got James Miller sitting there in 2nd. Derek Garrison moved that number 11 up to 3rd. Troy Leonard's there. Andrew Beach. This is going to be fun. Gal Zepeda, he's going to be starting 6th. Ryan Flanagan restarting in 7th. Jeffrey Cox in 8th. Chris Severa in 9th. Christopher Tate in 10th. The big moves, and Matt Grunberg is going to have a little bit of work to defend here. You watch, I guarantee that he's going to start right as that red line's on the wall.
And he's gone already.
Yep.
The battle right now for 2nd spot, James Miller and Derek Garrison. Garrison had a good run on the outside, not going to be able to complete that pass, decides to fall in behind the 09 of James Miller. Derek Garrison rounding out that top 3. It's a battle for 4th spot right now between Miguel Zepeda and the 45 of Troy Leonard. Behind them, it's Andrew Beach in the 3. And Beach trying to move himself forward. Was hanging out towards the back of the field for most of this race, but now the 3 seems to have found some power that he hasn't been displaying. Or maybe he's known it was there all along, Rick. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it could have been there all along, Chris. He just didn't want to show it until he absolutely had to. But I mean, look at the number that he's racing. Look at the paint scheme he's got, man. He's doing it for Dale. Got one out there just doing it. Got one doing it for Dale. Got Troy Leonard. He's hydrated there in the smart water.
And Drew Beach starts to look to the inside. Not going to be able to get a run on Leonard this time by. Falls back in line to reset that approach. Troy Leonard wiggling just a little bit, trying to break that draft up. And the 3 doesn't bite. He stays down low. He knows Leonard's going to get there. So Beach following that 45, trying to build up a head of steam. Back up front, though, it is Matt Gruenberg, and he has opened up almost a full second lead already after having been under the green flag for, what, 4 laps?
Yeah. And one thing that's kind of interesting, Chris, as the 3 looks on the inside again of Troy Leonard. Whoa. Almost got into him, but was able to hang on to it. So I'm watching the 3, and I'm watching the steering wheel. I'm actually in cockpit view, and it seems like he's not really fighting all that much. He's got a little wiggle there going on in the wheel. A lot of drivers like to do that. It helps them try to keep that car down below where they want it. And then I go to Derek Garrison there in the 11, Chris, and I mean, he's just fighting that thing left and right. Got the big wiggle going on. And I just like the cockpit view. Fun.
Well, since we're here, we'll take a lap around the track with Garrison, heading into turns number 1 and 2. And you can see what Rick was talking about. He's kind of fighting into the corner there, so that is indicative of a push out of the car. So he has to kind of find it and reset it. And heading into turns 3 and 4.
Another thing, I mean, earlier we looked in the cockpit view of a Supra, Chris. Now you're in there with a Chevy, and you can see how the gauges are all different. I mean, that's one thing that I love about the Supra is just the way that they put it in there. Close second, honestly, is going to be the Ford. I like the way that the Mustang, everything's kind of right there in front of your face when you're racing that stuff. I mean, I'm looking at Miguel Zepeda right now behind Derek Garrison. He's 41's running in 4th place, and you can see that gauge cluster. It's right there. And when you're in BR, it actually helps because you don't have things cutting through your wheel and stuff like that. So it makes it nice.
So we went Chevy Ford. Now we'll hop into the Toyota of Matt Gruenberg just so you can see them all kind of back to back to back. And you can see the important ones. Your race leader, the 54 of Matt Gruenberg, and he's got a 1.1 second lead over the 09 of James Miller. Derek Garrison trying to battle for 3rd with Miguel Zepeda. Zepeda takes it away, and here comes Troy Leonard on that outside lane. That outside lane that wasn't working for Troy earlier on, and now he's using it to get around Derek Garrison in the 11. Behind him, it's going to be Flanagan in the 19. Flanagan now to the outside. Garrison falling backwards, Rick.
Yeah, Garrison, I mean, the car's definitely not happy. I mean, we saw it there, Chris, in the cockpit view. He was fighting that thing. So now imagine doing that with a car right next to you. You know, you don't want to be the guy that brings out a caution and takes out one of your competitors. And it's kind of a scary thing. But right now, he is not happy being on that inside lane. I can tell you that.
And 41 of Miguel Zepeda able to get around the 45 of Troy Leonard. So Zepeda now running in 3rd spot. Leonard in 4th.
Joshua came back out on track with number 28, Chris. He actually moved up a couple positions, or he moved up a position. He took over Nate Stewart's spot in 11th. So that's going to be good. I mean, Kane not having the night that he wanted here in that 9/11 paint scheme, remembering our heroes from 9/11 2001. Like I said, not having the night that he wanted, but not giving up. He's got that Ford Mustang right back out there, running those laps, picked up another position, so that's going to help.
Every point matters. Even early on in the season. This is race 3 for the Relentless Racing Series here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. And we're watching Matt Gruenberg start to put on a clinic yet again. Took him a little while longer to get there tonight, Rick, but once he's been there, man, there is no stopping that 54.
No, once he gets out into that clean air, Chris, he's very hard to catch.
Miguel Zepeda sitting in third spot. Behind him, Troy Leonard and Ryan Flanagan. Troy Leonard and Ryan Flanagan maybe battling for fourth place before too much longer here. We've got 16 laps to go. Garrison right behind these drivers. Flanagan to the inside, and he is looking for that position now. Troy Leonard, he had a little bit of luck on the outside when he was trying to pass Garrison, but now it seems like, I don't know what's changed on the car in those few laps, but the 45 not so happy on that outside lane and may start, maybe starting to push a little bit, and that will slow him down, especially in the corners. Peaks inside once again, can't do it. Gets in line behind the 45, trying to use that draft. It's a 1.5 mile long track here in Las Vegas. It is long enough to catch a little bit of a draft, and Flanagan trying to use it up. Every time he peeks out to battle, though, lets Garrison get just a little bit closer, and that number 11, the 11 sitting in 6th spot. Matt Grunberg in the 54, your race leader. Grunberg's now led 61 laps, Rick. Like I said, once he kind of got out front, there's been no stopping him at all tonight. James Miller running in 2nd spot, but 1.9 seconds behind him. Zepeda, your 3rd place runner, is running about a second behind 2nd place runner, James Miller. Next time by, Grunberg going to receive 2 hands worth of fingers, indicating 10 laps from the flag man.
And unless something seriously happens to him, Chris, I don't think anybody's really got anything for him here tonight.
No, kind of 2 weeks in a row, he's jumped out to the lead and really just asserted his dominance. And Grunberg now gets those 2 hands full of fingers outstretched, indicating 10 laps to go here in Las Vegas.
I think after this, we're going to go storm Area 51.
You want it?
I want an alien puppy.
I don't know if Maverick would be happy about another puppy in the house.
No. But if I did have one, I'd have to name a goose.
Big time problem for Miguel Zepeda. He was running up in the top 3, and next thing you know, man, he is running slow, and in 7th, he had to catch the car, and he caught it. He didn't hit anything, but unfortunate issues there with Miguel Zepeda falling from 3rd all the way back to 2nd, but that does put Troy Leonard up in the hot seat now, top 3. And Rick, you know what's going to happen. Troy Leonard is going to finish in the top 3. Not going to be able to interview him because he's not on TeamSpeak.
And he's going to get on TeamSpeak so we can tell him that he needs to have a coach car. Yeah, you're right. I mean, that's the thing, man. I mean, Troy Leonard, usually when he's in this position, he'll start backing off so that way he gets fourth.
Well, Jeffrey Cox, who's currently running in 4th, wouldn't mind that one bit. But there is a little bit of a battle back there for 4th and 5th spot. Garrison has... I think Garrison's tires are pretty upset because Cox went around him pretty easily and already starting to separate. Caution on the track. And not pause. Oh, Ryan Flanagan, maybe. We'll go back and take Pete. Well, Ryan Flanagan was running out there by himself in the 19th spot, and he gets loose. He just gets loose, and around he goes. Touches that wall just a little bit. A couple other drivers doing their best to avoid, including the 3 of Andrew Beach. So with 5 laps to go, we're setting up for a shootout. Rick, I think we're going to step away for a commercial break. We're going to go side by side so the fans don't miss a single bit of the action. We'll be right back.
and he's going to get them all done with. What amazing.
Race lead to the inside goes Logan Cloudman is going to touch in. Pit press. What a save.
Look to the outside as Cronkite goes off. De Jong into second place.
Going for the switchback. Oh, pinpoint driving.
It's howling down to the inside.
I trying, there's contact though.
Slide left of the racetrack. Chris Benner drives it back down underneath, and he takes that second spot right back. Joker goes to Garrett Lowe.
Garrett Lowe should take victory with all that contact.
He's going to try and make the move around the outside the parabolica. That's not going to work, but he's going to try and get the cut back here. Get the run out the parabolica. That's beautifully done there. Makashube, there's a little bit of door banging as well.
And we are back right here in Las Vegas. We have a new race leader, Chris Severa, in the 62, hanging out on the front row as your race leader. Christopher Tate in the 24 to his outside. And you've got...
This is going to get good.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting as several drivers came down. Looks like some of them took 2 tires and a little bit of fuel. Some took 4. Matt Gruenberg took 4. Derek Garrison took 4. Andrew Beach took 4. James Miller took 4. Ryan Flanagan on pit road right now. So we're not done yet. We're going to have a 1-lap shootout. On a Friday night, a 1-lap shootout. Oh boy.
It's going to be a green-white checker.
No, it's not going to be a green-white checker because we're going to go back to the green flag this time by. Unless caution comes out. It's Friday night. Anything can happen. These guys get very relentless on a Friday night. So what is Matt Gruenberg going to do? He had to give up the lead to come down pit road. And now he's going to restart in 6th spot. Very, very interesting. Here we go. 62, Chris Severa decides to take off. The 24 wasn't fooled at all, Rick, as they cross the line. It's white flag out. Chris Severa heading into turns 1 and 2. The 24 looking to try and do a crossover. He keeps his foot on the floor. He's trying to get to the lead, and Christopher Tate is side by side with Chris Severa. It's the Chris and Chris show. Severa goes way up high, hits the wall, and that's going to be it. Christopher Tate's going to become your race winner. Troy Leonard looking for 3rd. Matt Gruenberg goes by. Gruenberg's going to probably finish 3rd, but your race winner tonight, the 24 of Christopher Tate. Severa comes home 2nd. Gruenberg 3rd. Derek Garrison 4th. Cox 5th. Holy cow. Troy Leonard in that last lap ends up coming home in 8th spot. We're going to go back and take a look and see if we can see that whole last lap. That was pretty cool. So we are. Cool. So we're going to watch the 45 here. He's getting a push, a heavy push really, from the 41 is Zepeda. Zepeda sneaks to the inside, can't quite hold on, so he comes back in line. Gruenberg making it 3 wide to try and take positions away. The 41 steps in. The 45 goes up into the wall, and then it's a collection fest. Oh, boy. Yeah, boy. The 09 able to get by the 45, and he does it sideways. And 3 is stopped there, and that is how this race ended. Pretty wicked. And I say it ended, but maybe not.
No, I just got confirmation from Race Control, Chris. We're going to have a 2nd of 3 these guys do this season. A 3-chance green-white checker.
Unbelievable. Good stuff. Well, just when you thought you saw it all, you haven't seen it anything yet. Positions have changed. Everything's changed.
Everything's changed.
So let's get into what happens during green, white checkers, shall we? The finishing on the top left, that's not going anywhere. That's how iRacing does it. When we restart, the field will be locked. The only time the scoring will update is when they cross the start-finish line. We'll do our best to keep an eye on the race leaders. As the pace car lights fall, we get ready to green, white checker this thing. New race leader, Matt Gruenberg, with Derek Garrison to the outside. Andrew Beach has made his way up to 3. And of course, by making his way up to 3, I mean, that's his car number, and he's also running in 3rd. 19 of Ryan Flanagan running in 4th, and Chris Vera restarts this one in 5th. Just waiting for that pace car to drop off from the race surface. Derek Garrison looking to have a restart of a lifetime here, starting on the outside. Pace car is off the racing surface. The 54 holding steady. They all group up. The 11 takes off. The 54 has not yet. Now the 54 does.
Wow. The 3 having an issue also there, Chris.
Yeah. Oh, the 09 and the 24 getting together. They straighten it out somehow. I don't know if this one's going to stand.
No, we're about to find out, Chris. And I know why this all happening. It's because Troy Leonard didn't want to come in and team speaking.
White flag should be in the air. Garrison defending that top spot. Flanagan fighting very hard to try and take it over. Here comes the 54 of Gruenberg. Gruenberg to the inside of the 19. Garrison. Oh no, Garrison. It's a battle. Oh my goodness. Gruenberg looks like he finished 2nd. Flanagan 3rd. And that was a wild ride. Checker is out.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
There's some grass mowing, some Dukes of Hazzard flying.
Yeah, we're going back to watch that one because it's too good not to. Let's face it. 19 and 54 get together. And then it's a battle through the grass. And the 54 edged him out just enough. And it looks like that restart is not going to hold up. Looks like Gruenberg is going to be credited with the win. Then Ryan Flanagan, Christopher Tate. So beaten and battered, the 54, getting ready to lose a motor. I don't know if he's going to have enough left in that motor to spin the tires, Rick.
No.
Well, there you are, proving me wrong again.
He's going to do it until it blows.
Well, checkers or wreckers is usually the thing you hear during a race, but it looks like tonight the 54 are going to take both. Guys, we're going to take a quick pause, and we'll be back with some post-race interviews. And it looks like we have tested all the radios. They all seem to be functioning. And Rick, I believe you caught up with third place finisher Christopher Tate.
Christopher Tate, driver the number 24. You got Rick and Chris up in the booth. You got a copy, buddy? Chris Tate, you got Rick and Chris up in the booth. You have a copy, bud? Or not.
All right, no connection there for Christopher Tate, unfortunately. Let's try.
Hold on.
Oh, there we go. Chris, you got a copy?
All right, we'll leave him in the channel while he's trying to figure it out there. I saw that he was trying to mute and unmute his mic there. Ryan Flanagan, driver of the number 19. You got Rick and Chris up in the booth. You got a copy, bud?
Woo! Of course I do. That was amazing.
You and Grunberg did some mowing there, man. That was crazy. Listen, tell us about the race a little bit.
Well, we started off second, and you know, I struggled at the long run pace at the start, but I got it together at the end. And coming in to those last green white checkered, I knew Beach had damage, and I knew he wasn't going to be able to make the start, so I didn't have to worry about anything behind me. I just worried about what was ahead. So I just tackled it, really drove the car, and when I got alongside the 11, I just got tight, had nothing for him. I rubbed his bumper, and then I got loose. Went through the grass, but we both had the right intention. Just gas it and pray.
Well, there you go, buddy. Hey, it seemed to work. There's anybody on the 24 you need, or on the 24 on the I'm late and it was crazy. And it's in anybody needs this on the 19. There we go.
Yeah, GoPro, that's on there just for fun, but big thanks, huge thanks to Lean Dog. They're letting me put their name on their car. They're a software company out of Cleveland. Fully respect their company, did a lot of research on them before I put them on the car. 100%. If you own some type of company, you need some type of software, check it out. Go to them, and yeah, so what a great race. Wow.
That was awesome, buddy. Hey, listen, enjoy the rest of the weekend. Get ready for next week, and hopefully we'll be talking to you again.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to get this thing into victory lane at some point this season, so I'm hoping I'll talk to you guys again. Thank you for broadcasting.
No problem, buddy. Thank you, and have a good weekend. Congrats again.
Thank you.
And that is one excited driver with the number 19 coming home in second tonight, man. That's great. Only one driver left to talk to, and Rick, while you tune the radio in, I just want to say that finish between Gruenberg and Flanagan, .022. Matt Gruenberg in the number 54. This is Chris and Rick up in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Yep.
Well, here we are again talking to you once again, bud. You win stage 2 and then ultimately the race. That last restart, Garrison kind of took off a little bit before everybody else, and well, you kind of fooled him a little bit.
Yeah, I was going to try to make it to the end of the restart zone and go on green there on that last restart, but everybody behind me was getting antsy there, and I think whoever was behind me on that restart, I don't know what car it was, but they ended up hitting me in the rear, and then I think that's when the 11 thought that I was going, since my car went forward a little bit, and then that's when he took off. But yeah, I just tried to maintain pace speed after he hit me, and then I saw the 11 go, and then I kind of had to go because I knew the 19 wasn't going to get a black for passing me before the restart as well. But yeah, we had an uphill battle after that, and definitely made the race interesting. I'm sure that finish was one for the ages. So
that was so good. We got a replay of it. That was incredible. You guys definitely lowered the grass level a little bit and part of the infield there. Pretty cool to watch, man. So congratulations again. You won the stage 2. You came in tonight as the points leader. You win tonight. That's going to go a long way for the rest of the season. Congratulations. Anybody on the 54 that you need to thank tonight?
Just everyone that supports me week in and week out. Just a huge shout out to Jeffrey Fisher tonight. He provided a lot of support on and off track. So a huge shout out to him, and shout out to you guys for broadcasting every week. I enjoy going back and watching the replays. It's a lot of fun. So,
all right, bud. Well, congratulations once again, and you definitely make sure you check out your qualifying. That was fun. Matt Gruenberg, driver of the number 54. Congratulations, and have a great weekend.
Yep. Thanks. You too.
All right, Rick. Well, that's going to wrap up another Friday night here with the Relentless Racing Series. Tonight's winner, Matt Gruenberg, second spot. Ryan Flanagan, he was very excited about that. Christopher Tate finishing third. Unfortunately, something going on with his microphone, so we were not able to talk to him. Troy Leonard, just like you said, Rick, finishing fourth tonight. James Miller slides it sideways across the line to finish in fifth. Jeffrey Cox in sixth. Miguel Zepeda, seventh. Andrew Beach, eighth. Chris Severa ends up in ninth spot. Derek Garrison in 11th. Then it's Joshua Kane, Nate Stewart, Ruben Zepeda, Jeffrey Fisher, Austin Derbyshire, and Liam Sheen, who actually didn't start the race. And that is going to do it from all of us here on Turn 3 Racing Network, coming at you live from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Thank you all very much for coming out to the Turn 3 Racing Network. We will see you next time.